Okay, hello, welcome back. We're in part two. I'm going to show you how an example of how we can use vectors in three-dimensional space to do something in a video game. So today we're going to use Unreal Engine, and I'm just going to, on the fly, start to finish, I'm just going to create a super easy example using the math and just show you something we can do. And from here, you'll probably get your own ideas and you can make something cool. So we're going to start off with a game, and we're going to make a blueprint project, but we're going to start off with the third person view. Next, we will take no starter content just so that it hopefully can go a little bit faster, and we will name this project vector test. So create project. Hopefully we can run. Okay, so hopping right into the editor, the third-person blueprint project that everyone gets for with Unreal Engine, this guy who you can run around and jump around. And we're going to try to do something interesting with vectors and unit vectors and navigating 3D space. So the idea that I have that we're going to do is take our person's location, and in the direction that the camera is pointing, in like maybe 10 meters or something, I'm going to spawn an object. So to do that, we need to first create our object that we're going to spawn, bp underscore spawn object, and we're going to open that up and we're going to give it something to spawn, just a sphere, like so. Compile, save, and then we're going to do the logic to actually come in and spawn. So the first thing we need to do is set up an input to do that. We're going to go down here in the project settings, down to input, click our action mappings, add a new action, and we're going to call this one spawn object, and we're going to set that to be our left mouse button down. Not keyboard, mouse, left mouse button down. So close that up, and then we're going to come into our actor and right click and choose search for what we just created, spawn object, the event, and we're going to take a pin off of press. Actually, first we're going to select the follow camera, drag that out, and get the forward vector. And then we're also going to get our mesh and get its location, which I believe is called get world location. Oops. Get world location. I cannot click. Last try. Get world location. Okay, so what I said we were going to do is that we're going to find the point in space that is 10 meters away from our mesh in the direction of the camera. So if you remember from our previous video, we went over how to do that with math, and that is basically the location plus the unit vector that you want to go towards times however far you want to go, which is in this case 10 units. So we're going to do just that. We're going to add to our mesh location, add, and I believe that's under math, vector plus vector. We're going to add the unit vector, which this function returns a unit vector. So get forward vector, actually I believe if you hover it says it gets the forward vector, the x direction of the object, for the unit direction. So that means that it has a magnitude of 1. So if we drag off and we do a multiply, a vector times a float, and let's just say we go 1,000 units, whatever those are. I believe it's like centimeters or something. And so like I said before, our mesh location plus our unit vector times our distance, which is in this case 1,000. So we'll add that pin in right there. This coming off, this vector right here, is the location where we want to spawn, so that we are spawning 1,000 units away in the direction of our camera. So we'll go on pressed here. We'll do spawn actor. And let's go ahead and right click and split this pin, because it's a transform actually has 3 parts, as the location, the rotation, and the scale. we're going to leave the rotation at 0, 0, 0 because for a sphere it doesn't matter. The scale we can leave at 1, and for the location we're going to plug in what we just calculated. So we're going to go ahead and come down here and choose BP spawn object. And that's it. So this is all we had to do to create some interesting behavior. And if we play, you can see that if we left click, it spawns these objects in the direction we're facing. So if I'm facing here, click, move up, 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 I've now spawned in the direction that I'm facing. And similarly, you can see that this is, like if you go in a circle, it'll make a circle of all of these things. And it's fun to play around with. And I'm sure you can think of ways to make a game with things like this. So that's just our little example. This is how to use vectors in 3D space.